Hey guys, it's me, Sydney. I am your host, and I am also the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go, How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self. And it is Wednesday. I am so glad to be here with you guys tonight. Hey, Mortimer, I see you. So glad to have you here tonight. I hope things are good with you guys. Yay, Lizzie's here too. Good to see you, beautiful. And Luna. Luna says, hello, fancy friends. I love that. So glad you guys are here. Oh my gosh, Rebecca's here too. Yay! Yay, keep them coming, guys. I'm so glad to see everybody in the comments. This is so cool. I hope you have had a great week since the last time we all got together here. It's funny because I know I say this every week. It doesn't seem like it's been a week already. Like time is just flying by. So I hope things have been good for you guys in the last 7 days. Hey, Cody's here too. Happy hump day. Yes, everybody is so awesome saying hey to each other in the comments. Um, yeah, I'm in a food coma. Like we just finished dinner, watched Andor. I was ready for a nap. I'm like, nope, gotta do the Wednesday night party. So excited to see you guys. Um, my original plan for tonight was that I was going to have a guest on to discuss um, an upcoming con, but unfortunately that wound up getting canceled. It happens, things happen. We all have lives and things unexpectedly take place. So I'm like, you know what? I've got a backup plan. So we have a game in store for later, but first I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I finally did today. Um, I know it's easy to like come up with plans. I am fantastic at making plans. Like I can sit here and have step by step all figured out in my brain. What I suck at is executing said plans. Great at making them, not so great at following through. So we have a hutch in the kitchen. Like whenever I think of a hutch, I think of my grandmother's houses because they always had the hutch with the top, was all full of beautiful china dishware that you weren't allowed to touch, you know, that my mom where she lived, like a truck would go by and it would like rattle. You just were expecting like this giant broken dishes all over the place. Um, but it was funny when she passed away and my mom got the dishware. It was my grandmother's and my great grandmother's. She gave it to me and she said, you can throw it against the wall. I don't care. It's yours now. So it's lived in boxes and been moved, God, for 20 years now. I still have it. So if you know anybody that wants to buy some china dishware, tons, 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 tons. Yes, Luna knows. Says the dinnerware that you never use and only observe. So when I got married to my first husband, tradition, you get China. I got Target. I'm like, if it doesn't go in the dishwasher, I don't want it. Like, and it was just, like the white plates with the gold rim. I'm like, this is schmancy. This will work. Left it with him when we got divorced. Don't have a reason to have it. Like, it's ridiculous. Yes, and silverware too. Sometimes, Luna, I actually have a set of goldware. It's like the gold plated silverware. We use that for Thanksgiving. It goes in the dishwasher. Like if I if I get thrown in the dishwasher, I have no interest in having it. That being said, of course, some serving things and some pots and pans don't go in the dishwasher, but I can't imagine like my dinner where like let's all eat dinner and then, you know. That being said though, I have lived in places without a dishwasher, so I guess I'm just spoiled now. All this to say, we have a hutch in the kitchen. Now my hutch, because I don't have the schmancy look but don't use dishes, is full of cows. I love cows. I collect cows. So it's full of cow stuffed animals, cow salt and pepper shakers, cow miniatures, cow. I do have it's a collection called Cow Parade, and they're these cows that are like full size, like gigantic cows that are pieces of art. So Some look like patchwork, some look like, you know, like they're all different kinds of things. And the the collection travels around the world, not just the country. So they have little versions of them that are collectibles. And I have the Wizard of Oz set. I have one that's a Moo Jersey diner. I have one that's the cow in the moon. You know, I have one from New Orleans that looks like a skull, like really cool. So those are my special ones. And then I have, they're called Mary Moos that are other collectible ones. Other than that, there's some that I have an emotional attachment to because, you know, my friends gave them to me, stuff like that. But a lot of them are just little knickknacks I've picked up, you know, like a bunch I got at a yard sale, you know, stuff like that. So we had to get rid of our pantry that we used to store, you know, like chips and pasta, like a pantry, you know. So we bought another one and it's small. So I'm looking at the hutch. I'm like, I bet I could like put stuff in there. So for weeks I've been collecting boxes because I'm going to thin the herd quite literally, you know, and and part with some of the cows that I'm not as attached to. So today I did it. And it's tough. It's tough. But I think I have 14 salt and pepper shakers that I don't use that were just like decorative ones in there, um, and different stuffed animals. There was one the kids made for me. It was a little purple cow made out of Play Doh that was on the side of the hutch, and it was absolutely sealed to the glass. Dave had to get the razor knife out because it was just completely had become one with the glass. So, what are some things that you guys feel like you should probably purge, but it's hard to? Things that you got used to having around, things that, um, you know, just no longer you feel like are necessary to hold on to. Not that you don't like them anymore, but that in an effort to create more space or, you know, something like that. Put that in the comments because I'm curious. Um, if you, I don't know if you can see, yeah, up there, that little white blob, and then there's a black blob there. Those are salt and pepper. They're little stuffed animal cows. They've got the 80s glasses on. They are the ones that started my cow collection. I got them out of a crane machine down the shore when I was in fourth grade. So those I'm keeping. You know, and like I said, I have the cow parades, I have the Mary Moose, I have certain ones that were gifts from friends that I'm keeping. But the ones that I just had because they were cows, but didn't really have any special um, emotional attachment aside from that, I want to have a yard sale, a barnyard sale. Ah, you know, maybe that I can get rid of the China dishware too, that's taking up a big part of my basement. So let's see here. I want to check out the comments. But if there's something that you have that you know, are like, you know, I really just don't need to keep it anymore, put it in the comments because I'm curious. But I'm proud of myself because I had to wrap them all up. I still need to clean out the hutch and put the food in there. But step one, let's see here. Uh, doo, 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 doo. Lizzie says laundry and dishes are survival of the fittest. Yes, throw it all in the machine and let God sort them out. That's hilarious because somebody told me once about the washing machine. It's like you put the stuff in and you're like, it'll bake down, you know, because it's like all stuffed in there. It's like when the water hits it, it'll bake down. It'll be fine. That's hysterical. And Luna says that I could possibly sell to China. That's why I don't want to just get rid of it or just like give it away because if I found it out after the fact that it was worth, you know, and things are only worth what somebody's going to pay you for them. You know, you can sit there and look it up online and oh, this is worth $2,000. Well, if the highest bid you're going to get is $5 from somebody, it's worth $5. You know, like it's if you're not going to get what it says, you know, then that's that. But yeah, like an auction, That's what I'm looking into. We have a couple near here that I want to contact. There's like an antique store, and there's at least two auction houses I know of that I would contact. There's another one that there's a little bit of history with, so I'm not going to contact them. But we do have some that I would look into and just say, because we have my great grandmother's, and that one's kind of like a mixed set. I have to take everything out because literally, I think my mom gave it to me when I was living in the condo, which we bought in 1998. So it's moved from there to what's now my ex's house. That was in 2004. Then I moved out of there in 2008 to my rental, and then I moved here. So it's been in the boxes since then and made all of those moves. So I have no idea what's in there anymore. And then Dave has his grandmother's china, and a lot of that's still new in the box. So that I definitely want to get appraised because a lot of that's never even been opened. So that's got to make it, I would think. But again, it's whatever somebody would pay for it. And a lot of people don't use China anymore. Like, when we were growing up, it was like a big, we have the China. And now people are like, don't care. But I'd be curious to see what I could get for it. Let's see here. Rebecca says, like some PJ pants I had for 13ish years. I hated them, wore them like a few times, and when I had nothing else, but I just couldn't stand them, so I got rid of them. Exactly. Exactly. And she also says that she has a collection of screws, nails, tools from furniture like bookcases and other random shit. Those I still have though, because you just never know. Exactly. I have so many random and buttons. Like if you buy something and it comes with the spare button, and Allen wrenches out the yin yang, because like you get furniture and it comes with the Allen wrench to put it together, and you don't want to get rid of it because you never know. Like you said, you never know. And I'm gonna wind up like tripping over the thing of screws and getting one in my foot before I ever use it for something practical, probably. But I can't part with it, because the second I do, I'm gonna, like vinyl patches. You ever buy something inflatable and it comes with the vinyl patch, and we have an inflatable hot tub, and we got it up the other day, and the lid's leaking. So I'm like, wait, I know where the vinyl patches are because I've saved them from everything. Can't find the leak, but I have the patch, so it's a good thing I saved it. Mortimer says, let's see. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong one. Comments went up. I have holy shit amazing news to share about the legend of Bloody Bones. Well, share it, my friend. Share it, please. Let's see. Yep. Lizzie has a box of old furniture, screws and buttons and Allen wrenches and shit just in case. See? Exactly. And yes, the little packs of extra little bulbs off string lights. I have them too in the Christmas thing. When they go out, I throw the thing out. I never sit there going through every single one like I'm freaking Clark Griswold. But I save them because you never know. Video didn't want to cooperate. I'm sorry, Cody. I'm glad you're back, though. Everybody go check out Cody's art page. You can put the link to that in the comments so people can go check out your art. That would be awesome. Put together your random things into boxes. I do have a couple different bags of wires. So I still have the iPod chargers, like the old iPhone ones that are like the thick, it's like, I don't have a charger right here right now, but how the lightning cable's like this. And then the old ones, they were like an inch wide. I probably have 4 or 5 of them. Don't know why, but I have them because I know as soon as I get rid of them, somebody's going to need one. And I've got Ethernet cables, and I've got printer cables. And I've got the like, what are they, like the auxiliary cables, like the red, yellow, white plug. Yep, whole bags of them. But I know if I get rid of them, I'm gonna need them, and then I'm gonna be pissed off I got rid of them. Ooh, Mortimer says one of our amazing actors has 80 acres and will let me film whatever we need. That is fantastic. I know you are going to be so creative with all that at your disposal, and I cannot wait to see what you come up with. That is awesome. Very cool. Yes, and Rebecca said, "Whoa, Mortimer, that's a lot of land, but so awesome." Absolutely. And Cody says, "Yes, Lizzie." Oh, because Lizzie said Cody. That's why I was like, "Wait, what?" And then Cody said, "Yes, Lizzie." And that's amazing, Aaron. Phenomenal. Yes, absolutely. Does it have cows? I'm circling back to cows. Salt and pepper are listening, so I have to. Salt and pepper's here, and they're in effect. Um, no, that's really cool because I know how creative you are, and I know having all of that available to build on and use different angles and all that's so cool. That is awesome. I was just had a thought; it fell out of my head. Did you guys see that look? That was me like going, it's gone. Yes, squirrel, exactly, Luna. You know what's up. That was my squirrel face. Gonna have a sip. Tatiana, everybody. Maybe that'll bring the thought back. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we have the wire bag. We have the drawers full of stuff, like junk drawers. I have I got this at an auction house, bringing that back around. So the one that I was talking about earlier that I will not be calling about the China, um, offered my oldest an opportunity to work the snack shack. So we have a deli. We provided the food. Oldest sold it, gave us money towards the food, kept the profits. Good, good way to learn responsibility and stuff. However, um, they needed it to start before my oldest got out of school because they were still in high school at the time. So I would have to go work the snack shack till um, they got there. My nephew would work it sometimes too. And I'd sit there just looking around at all the stuff because I got to know the regulars. I still see one of them at the local market. I'm always like, "Hey, Walt," and he had no idea who I am or why I know him, but very nice guy. But there was one guy that would always come up, "Oh, can I have a beer?" Every week. I'm like, but anyway, I was sitting there the one day, and on the shelf next to the snack shack, it looked like a giant egg, big blue egg. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I could see it had a hinge kind of lock on it and all. So I'm like, I bet that's from a hair dryer. You remember like in the 50s and 60s, that bonnet, and then it would have the big hose that went into like the hair drying console. Like I remember my mom had one. Hers came in like a suitcase kind of thing, but that's what I'm picturing. And I kept looking at that thing. I'm like, I want it. Like I just decided I wanted it. So I was talking about it to the one woman that owned the place, and I was just like, "Oh, that's cool," And and like we opened it up, there was nothing in it, but she confirmed it was from one of those hair dryer bonnet things and everything. I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Um, and I'm like, "How much do you want for it?" And she's like, "Just take it." And I was like, "Really?" So I have that's like my portable junk drawer because I put all kinds of stuff in there. Like I still have my card from when I took behind the wheel for driver's ed in high school, and like my college IDs in there. Like I think I have an old PlayStation game that's like Evil Dead. I mean, just things that didn't have a place wound up in there. And then because I love that one so much, she wound up giving me a red one too. And when I opened it up, it had a mannequin head in it, and it like I wasn't expecting that, and it kind of freaked me out. But it was that one was kind of inside. It was like I tried to clean it out, but it wouldn't get clean. But I still have the blue one, so that is full of all kinds of stuff that I could probably go through and purge. Um, but like again, I might need that stuff. I need to get rid of that stuff. That's what I need to do. But yeah, it's kind of cool to have a different type of storage thing. I have old jewelry boxes and like all kinds of stuff. And I feel like there's times in my life where I go through that purge phase where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get organized, I'm gonna get rid of this stuff. And I get rid of tons of stuff, but I still have tons of stuff. Like I think it multiplies when I'm not looking. Just all kind like shoelaces that I just keep because I don't know when I'm gonna need a shoelace. What? What? It makes no sense. Let's see. Okay, let's go back into the comments. So Mortimer says he used to help break horses as a kid and has cowboy friends with horses we can use. Fun, so fun. Anything where I get to pet an animal, please. Oh, I would love to pet a horse. So cool. Uh, let's see here. Tell Lizzie to practice running for her life from the horses, or do you have other things in mind on these acres? Yeah, Luna says you chasing her. And Mortimer says, I'm Bloody Bones, Luna, and no one escapes him. Look out. Look out. All right, Luna, you got to come down and ride horses and chase Lizzie. I guess that's what we're doing. Is that the plan? We're going to pet horses and chase Lizzie, and I don't know what else is going to happen, but I bet it'll be a fun time. I can just imagine this is the debacle of all of us on all that land. It would be shenanigans for sure. And I haven't, last time I rode a horse was up the mountains, and it was like trail riding where you go and you can like, you don't really rent a horse, but they do like the trail riding. You have a guide and like you can ride the horses and you follow your guide through the trails and all that. And Dave and I took the kids 2 years in a row. And the first year my horse was Feather, and then the second year it was Beauty, and Dave's horse was Toby. And the whole time he kept quoting, I think it was Used Cars. Yeah, it was Used Cars, the movie. With Toby wants you to buy the car, don't you, Toby? And he kept saying over and over again, I was going to knock him off the horse. But I remember Steph had a horse named Shrek the one year and Moose another year. It's funny, but that horse farm isn't there anymore, and it stinks because they had a petting zoo too, and they had alpaca. Well, they had one alpaca, and his name was Fuzzy Gus, and he was the doofiest animal I've ever seen. But they relocated him to another farm where there was another alpaca because apparently they want to be in pairs and they whistle to try and find other alpaca. I learned a lot thanks to Fuzzy Gus. So he's a lot happier when he got to have an alpaca friend. So that's cool. Yes, so Mortimer says, imagine a slasher movie where the killer is dead Wild West preacher that is Thanatos, death itself. Cool. I read that as Thanos, of course, first because I'm more familiar, but definitely, like, if you guys have not heard Mortimer talk about The Legend of Bloody Bones, it is a badass story. So definitely follow him and learn more about it because it's so, so cool. Aw, give Freya pets for me. Freya is watching you and snuggling me. Definitely give her pets from me. I got to play with a bunny today. So we moved our youngest out of the dorm for the summer. Yay, she's a mister. And her one roommate has an all black bunny named Twilight, and she is beautiful and so soft. And all year, I've just been wanting to snuggle Twilight. So I got to today. And she's so cute. She's a big bunny. She's a chunky bunny. So sweet. I don't know how quick I can do this. Let me see if I can get, because I don't think you can see my phone. I have pictures of her on my phone. I was trying to upload a video of the cow stuff, but I ran out of time. Can you see her? I'm giving her bunny ears. She's so cute. Little velvet. She's adorable. Yeah, there she is. There's Twilight. Isn't she pretty? I was going to sneak her out. Be like, I don't know where your bunny went. Sorry. So cute. But Dave saw the twinkle in my eye and was like, no stealing bunnies. So I didn't, but she was super duper cute. And the one roommate has a support cat, like a support animal, and it's a kitty cat named Bella. And they're going to be in my youngest dorm next year. So I know she's super excited to have Bella again next year. And that cat was so sweet. I got to meet her a couple times too. Sweet heart. And I'm like, man, when I was in college, I had a chicken and I got caught and they took it away. I could have said I had a support chicken, but that was 1993. So that wasn't a thing then. But then I would have still had Gizmo, my support chicken. But he got eaten by a fox instead because it's the circle of life and it's not fair. Yeah, but I have my support pooches. Did you guys hear? Did you guys hear the debacle of the vet visit this week? I don't think I shared that with everybody. So last week was I forget. I guess Lexi had the appointment for her monthly. I forget. We had an appointment for one of them last week. There was a terrible, terrible car accident that took place right in front of the vet, and they called to say they didn't think we could get to them because the road was shut down. And that it was going to be a complete debacle. Even if we could get there, the doctors weren't there yet and everything. So they rescheduled to this week. And we had needed to take the other dog that didn't have the appointment this week. So we're like, we'll just take them both. So get to the vet with the two dogs. There's two other dogs in the waiting room that were so sweet, so cute. So Lexi needed her Librela shot. She gets it every month for her arthritis. We call it her bunny hop shot, her spinach. She's like Popeye, when she gets it, boing, boing, boing all over the place. So she has it made. It's like she goes in, it's like a pit stop. She gets her shot, we leave. That's how it usually goes. Muffy needed her yearly, so she needed her vaccinations. She needed to get a checkup. I needed her to have her nails cut because she's like Freddy Krueger. So we had the whole list, had to bring in the poop. You know how it is when you have pets. So we get there and Lexi's just being her big doofy self. The two of them are singing the song of their people. It was like quite a thing. So we get back into the exam room. Lexi gets her shot. No big deal. They go to take Muffy's blood because of the yearly, blood thing. This dog freaked the freak out. I've never seen her like this, ever. Dave was bleeding. The vet tech was bleeding. Tables getting knocked over. They tried to do it on the floor, on the bench, on the table. It was just like, she was like Wolverine, snickety snick, like lost her damn mind. So we're like, okay, this is not happening today. The doctor's like, how about we try again next week and I'll give you a sedative for her. So that was that. I'm trying to think what brought this story on. I forget. But so today, it was only yesterday. My God, that was yesterday. It seems like a million years ago. So I brought 2 hoagie trays of bag of chips. Sorry, my dog lost her damn mind. So we brought that as an apology to, the whole vet office. But I made a card from Muffy, and on the front is a picture of her, like an actual picture of her, like making the face. And I wrote, I'm sorry, like SAWRY. I'm like, I'm sorry. And then like inside I wrote it as if it was from Muffy. And I'm like, I want to apologize, like a pause, apologize for my behaviors yesterday. I am usually very brave, but I was really scared. And so like I had her sign it and all. It was really cute. So I dropped that off today. And it was cute because the doctor called and was like, that was so cute. Like it was awesome. But yeah, I think the bunny's what brought that up. I don't know why. Probably just awesome pets and how much I just support animals because I was saying I have my support animals here. They help me work out and they love to snuggle. I love my dogs. Like they both have very different but very cool personalities. So well, Muffy's not losing her damn mind at the vet. But you know what? She was scared, and that's fair. We all do cuckoo things when we're scared. You know I do. Let's see here. Okay, so Mortimer says he is a primordial god of death and is even the symbol for funeral services to this day. Really? Okay, because Thanos is named after Thanatos. Interesting. And he inspired a scene in The Wizard of Oz. What scene? Tell us. Tell us what scene in The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz keeps coming up because I have the Cow Parade Wizard of Oz set. I've got all five of them because it's Dorothy and the Tin Man and yeah, okay, because it's Dorothy the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Lion, and Elphaba. So it's all of them. Puppies will put you to sleep. They do. They're very snuggly. They like to snuggle, especially like at bedtime when they take up the whole damn bed. But they're so cute. Lena says she watched Wicked 2 last weekend. Wicked 2? I know the first one's out. I didn't think the second one was coming out until November. Interesting. Where did you see that? Because the first one, or do you mean like Wicked also last weekend? Because I really enjoyed the movie. I loved. Sorry, Mortimer, I misread your comment. So what Mortimer actually said is poppies will put you to sleep, and I read it as puppies because I was talking about my puppies. Sorry, but yes, poppies like the flower. Thank you. I'm caught up now. Telling you, man, it's been cuckoo bananas around here. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed the first Wicked movie because I love the stage show. I've seen it twice, twice on Broadway, and once in Philly, and it's so good. It's just such a great. It's a great show. She said, I could swear this Wicked was different than the other I've seen. Interesting. You'll have to tell me where you saw it and see if maybe I could check it out too. Because that sounds awesome. Very cool. And real quick, because every week when we do this, I'm like, you know what I suck at? I suck at promoting my book. So we'll just do a little commercial here. If you haven't yet, please pick up a copy of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go, How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self. And you can get your copy at learnedingogo.com. I need to write a jingle. Do like a little commercial. Learnedingogo.com. Oh, okay. The flower is one of his symbols. Gotcha. I did not know that. That is pretty cool. And then, balls, I hit the wrong thing. There we go. What else was I going to tell you guys about? I'm trying to remember. There's cows and bunnies and China and my book. But I know, see, because it's only been like 35 minutes, and I'm like really itching to play this new version of Pick a Page because like I'm giggling to myself about it, but I don't want to shoot my load too quick, as it were. So last week we were talking about serial killers. So my original thought was I have the Encyclopedia of Serial Killers that came out in, I believe, the 90s, maybe the early 2000s. So originally I was going to do pick a page with that and say, we can learn about a different serial killer. But my older daughter used to borrow it all the time when she was younger, and we can't find it. So if I can find it between now and next week, then we can play pick a page with serial killers, because I thought we had a really awesome conversation about serial killers last week, because we all seemed to be interested in the psychopathy, and like it's just like it's fascinating to me. But womp womp, can't find it. But I did. It was funny when I was looking it up, because I can picture the cover, so I knew exactly what it was, and I wound up. I think I might have it because I sent it to my daughter. Yeah. So this is what the cover looks like. Like I remembered what it was. Somebody's selling it on Poshmark. Like, I thought that was just for clothes. I'm like, you can buy a book on serial killers on Poshmark? That's so random. Like, I kind of thought that was funny. But I might see if I can get another copy of it if we can't find the one that I let her borrow, because it's been like a decade probably. How old is she now? 22. Yeah, it's probably been at least a decade, because I remember people being like, "You're all right with her reading that?" I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" She's reading. It's something she's interested in. As long as she don't kill anybody, who cares? Let's see. Oh, okay. So Mortimer says, how about a smash or pass movie edition? That would be good, but I do have a pick a page for tonight. Like I said, I'm just like trying to not do it too quick. But you know what? Let me see how many pages there are in this. I don't want you to see the book yet. It's a surprise, guys. It's a secret book. All right, there's holy hell. Okay, so there's it's pretty funny because it's pretty damn close to my book. So let's just say pick a number between 1 and 303. And then I'll show you what book I have for us to play pick a page with. Da-da. Oh, you meant a speed round before pick a page. Okay. Do you want to give people movies? Because I don't know what you have in mind. Like, there's so many movies out there. So to just like say a movie edition. Because like, let's see. All right, if we want to do like a speed round of Smash or Trash with movies. So let me look around. Let me look around the room. Okay. Deadpool. Smash or Trash. Okay, Mortimer wants to start. Either way, we can do Deadpool or you can give me one. We're going to do pick a page after, and then we'll do 1 to 303 with the pick a page. But first, we're going to do Smash or Trash with Deadpool, and Luna's giving it a smash. Awesome. Anybody else want to weigh in on Deadpool? Smash means you like it. Trash means you don't. Let's see. Mortimer loved the first Deadpool, so that's a smash. Lizzie's given it a smash as well. I'm going to smash it all day long. I love that fucking movie so much. It cracks me up. I quote it all the time. And pretty much all of them I liked. There was a question on Mortimer's. Cody's giving Deadpool a smash. And Luna has the Deadpool video game too. I did not know there was a Deadpool video game. I looked up and saw my Deadpool Funko Pop, so that's why I said it. I have a couple different Deadpool figurines, and I have a little stuffy of him. I love, love, love. Love Deadpool. Okay, so Cody says he's drowned Deadpool a few times. Oh, drawn. Dude, I'm telling I got new contacts, so I'm still wearing my April ones because I only picked up my May ones this morning. Actually, they're still in my car. So that's what I'm going to blame my lack of being able to read words on today is I'm wearing old contacts because my new ones are out in the car. Um, okay, so Mortimer's Smash or Trash is The Shining, and Luna's saying Kubrick's The Shining Smash. What's the other one? Because I is that the one with Down Needs an Enema, White Jack Nicholson? Is that Kubrick's The Shining? Lizzie says Kubrick trash. Oh, all right, got one of each. But she smashes Weber. I don't think I knew that there was more than one. Okay, I'm Googling now because I didn't realize there was more than one. Let me see here. The Shining. All right, so okay, so the 1981 is Kubrick. What's Weber? And there's a Stephen Wright version. Okay, I'm so out of the loop. Stephen Wright version trash. Stephen Wright, the comedian? That's Stephen Wright? I'm so out of the loop. Mortimer says, oh, we have tension. Just kidding. It's funny. Okay. I gotta look this stuff up because I'm definitely out of the loop here. So if I put The Shining Weber. Okay, so they in 97. Interesting. Oh, the mini series. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. So it says Steven Weber. Okay, so that's who you meant when you said Stephen Wright. You meant Steven Weber. Gotcha. Okay. Because I was like, Stephen Wright, the comedian, he tried to like pick me up when I went and I saw him in front of my parents. Let's see. Yeah, so Mortimer says, smash for Kubrick, but he's an a-hole. And guy from Wings. Okay, that's Steven Weber. Okay. Let's see. And Lizzie says, I've come to terms with my lone shining island. It's fine. Yes, and Shelley Duvall was fantastic in that version, for sure. Um, and let's see here. And Mortimer says, I like Jack better too. It's just that Stanley Kubrick was a bad person. And that's fair. Sometimes you have to separate the art from the artist because there are a lot of bad people out there. Um, and so I completely understand not wanting to contribute to somebody's income, but I think in this, it's like a double edged sword now because with streaming, with like Spotify, with stuff like that, there's the artist isn't getting as much of a kickback. Like I forget how many times you need to listen to a song on streaming services like before the artist gets anything. And I'm sure it's the same with like Kubrick's The Shining. Like at this point, I don't see him making money from us talking about it, or it's not like anybody's new to it that's going to give him, you know. Anyway, I'm just talking. So, all right, Mortimer's next one is American Pie. I agree with Luna and Lizzie. I will give it a smash. Gonna smash that pie. That movie's freaking hilarious. I need to watch that again. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. But as soon as anybody says, and one time, you have to, at band camp, like you have to do it. You just can't not do it. So that movie is 100% like part of the vernacular at this point. Darren, hey sweetie, all right. I didn't know you were on here too. Thanks for joining us tonight. And Darren is giving it a smash too. Awesome. Yay. Let's see. Exactly. Murder. That was when that came out. I think that caught everyone off guard. Like, now it's everybody knows about it, but when that movie first came out, that was like, what? That was so funny. Hilarious. Yeah, I have not seen that in so long. Um, so definitely need to add that to the list. There's so many movies, you guys know, every week I'm just like, I haven't seen that, I haven't seen that, I haven't seen that. So I'm trying to watch new things, but definitely there's things I need to revisit too. And that's one of them for sure. Um, all right, let's do exactly. Yes, Luna, you pick the next one. I like how Mortimer said that's how you don't get banned by YouTube, and Luna would like to pick one. So yes, Luna gets next one. Smash or trash? What would you like to pick next? Tatiana, while she's picking one. If you're new to the program, Tatiana is the Wednesday night version of Thailand, which is the Saturday night version of Take a Drink. Whatever you have, it doesn't have to be alcohol. All right, Luna's saying Fight Club. I can't tell you. It's rule number 1. I smash it. Absolutely. Um, yeah, and that's another one that there's just, rule number 1, you'll talk about, and at this point it's not even Fight Club, it's whatever it is, it's like we don't talk about whatever. But every month when I go to Rocky Horror and Frank gets mad at the end of dinner and rips the tablecloth off, and Meatloaf's laying under the table dead, and everybody starts chanting, his name was Robert Paulson. So I think about that too. Let's see. She said, I thought you were going to say you haven't seen it. I have seen Fight Club. It's been a long ass time, but I haven't seen it. Darren's giving it the smash. Luna says, I smash it all day. Oh, Lizzie has an interesting answer. Semi-smash. I think this is our first semi-smash. I like the movie well enough. Hate the people who make it their personality. That is fair. Mortimer wants to smash in Brad Pitt's face. That sounds kinky. You're not the first one to probably think that, Mortimer. That's funny. And I've never, I wasn't on the Brad Pitt train. I could see why people thought he was attractive. He was an attractive enough person, but it wasn't somebody I was like, oh, Brad Pitt. But he is who he is. All right. So are you guys ready for the new pick a page? Dun, dun, dun. All right. Somebody give me a number between 1 and, we'll just say 1 and 300. And then I will let you know the new book we are doing pick a page for. So first person to show up in the comments with a number between 1 and 300. All right, Lizzie's got 126. So tonight, my friends, we are going to the Encyclopedia of Unusual Sex Practices. And we're going to learn some new shit. All right, 126, she said. So we have... Ta-da. Okay, I don't even know if I can read this book. Okay, or this word. GENUPHALLATION. I'm going to say genuflation. Genuflation is the act of rubbing the penis between a partner's knees. All right. That was the first one on page 126. All right, so Luna has 275. Now there's a few on each page, so I'm just getting the first one that's like a full definition here. So we have. Dun, dun. Oh, I can't show the pictures. Probably I'll get in trouble. Support groups. No, I'm going to go to the next one. Um, it's literally talking about like Alcoholics Anonymous and okay, yeah, that's taking up most of what was it? It was 275, right? Yeah. So suspension is also on that page. Refers to hanging someone in the air from an overhead support which allows for some movement. Semi-suspension is when only a portion of the person's weight is off the ground. Yeah, this is like a whole bit. We all know what suspension is. Okay, so Darren's picking 23, which is these pictures are wild, man. Axillism. Axillism for underarm hair refers to the use of the armpit for sex. So I guess when you're bored with everything else, you can go for some pity sex. There you go. It's very sensitive to the flicker of a tongue or the warmth of a penis. I bet you can make like the. Can you imagine? I'm just picturing. Oh my god. Okay. So let's see. Mortimer picked 269. Of course you did, Mortimer. Okay. 269 is. I'm still laughing at the like armpit farts. All right. We've got spanking. We know what spanking is. Oh, wait, it says see flagellation. So we're not going to see that. We're going to go to the next one, which is spectrophilia. Refers to sexual arousal by intercourse with spirits, ghosts, angels, or gods. All of a sudden, there's 80 acres. At one time, many believed that nocturnal emissions were caused by spirits. The medieval Europeans named the male spirit incubus. He was believed to cause nightmares and lie on top of women, seducing or raping them. This was a delusion that was common among females without sex partners, particularly in convents. It wasn't me. It was the incubus. Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, so let's see here. Lizzie said, well, I chose poorly. Hysterical. Mortimer said, weenie. Sex pendulum, nice. All right, let's see here. Pity sex is the word of the night. I love that. Let's see. Well, that's fitting. I love that. And see flagellation because we want you to learn, you perv. Exactly. All right. And Mortimer says, I couldn't pick 88. You get 8 once, you get 8 twice. Well, let's see what's on 88. Why not? Like a lot of these are really long definitions, so I'm just kind of, getting to the meat of what it is. Page 88. Dominatrix, professional, as opposed to amateur. A professional dominatrix, or mistress, is the woman who is paid to act out an S&M scene with a client. It is much less common to find women who will play the submissive role, as this entails much more risk to her health. But yeah, this is like... See, now this is men who are not able to visit professional dominatrixes. See, and that's what I thought it was, but then like I learned somewhere it was like dominatrice. There's like a different word for the plural of dominatrix, but this book is not using it. Let's see. Excuse me. And then on page 89, dorophilia. Does anybody know what dorophilia is? And it has nothing to do with the explorer. Because that would be funny. Like, you know how she's got the map and she gives you like 3 places to go. I'm the map. Hysterical. So it says dorophilia is, and then it says hypophilia. So what's the difference between dorophilia is the love of fur or skin. So I wonder if this has anything to do with Ed Gein. Maybe he was a dorophiliac. It says this attraction is usually for animal skin or leather, which has been used as clothing throughout human existence. It's considered a fetish when it has to be present during sex. Human skin holds a fascination for some people. The 1950s sex criminal Edward Gein, I did not read that before I said that, um, who derived pleasure from skinning female corpses he exhumed from local graves and then wearing them like a garment, is reported to have become fascinated with the idea of changing himself from male to female. I think that there's like, you can do that without wearing other people's skin. Let's see. The feel and smell of leather gives many people a feeling of power. I used to love going into Wilson Leather and just going, I love that smell. Love it. Uh, cool. All right. How about one more? Because we got a couple more minutes. So give me one more number. We'll see what we can find. Let's see. You kill it, we skin it cafe. Why does this coot have nipples and chest hair? Oh, coat. I'm telling you, it's the contacts. I can't see. 7. All right. Lucky number 7. Thank you, Luna. So, dun, dun. Page number 7 is, let's see, agoraphilia refers to arousal from being in public places. All right, that's a pretty common one, I think. People who desire to have sex in their backyard, a park, or other exposed area more than likely experience an unusual level of excitement from being outdoors. Agoraphiles experience sexual excitement from being outdoors, just as agoraphobics experience fear. One of the parks in San Francisco is a popular meeting place for gays who enjoy semi-public sex. The city tried to discourage their activity by having many of the shrubs cleared away. This simply resulted in the gays having sex without the protective coverage of shrubs. Good on them. Good on them. Do it. So, cool. Well, this was fun. We'll have to do this again because it says more than 750 entries and 150 original illustrations. Yeah, which I can't show on here because I will get in trouble. But I thought it was fun. When I was looking for the serial killer book, I remembered that I had this. So I'm like, this is my group of people would get a kick out of this. So thank you for playing Pick a Page with me tonight. We'll go back to doing it with my book another night. And if I find the serial killer book, I think that would be a lot of fun to like learn about more of them as well. And Mortimer says, movie that fits that is Crank with Jason Statham. I have not seen that. It's like ringing a bell back here, but I don't even know what that is. Honestly, I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it makes me like the park in San Francisco makes me think of George Michael. I love that man. I was so sad when he passed away. But it just goes to show that, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Because like he could have gotten any number of dudes, but I think he enjoyed being in the park, getting that thrill. So I think that's that's part of his kink. So let's say Mortimer says, sex in public has to keep a high heart rate or die. Oh, so it's like speed, but with sex. Is instead of the bus, it's like a train in a tunnel. Is that interesting? I'll have to check this out because I am not familiar. But I really appreciate you guys hopping on with me tonight. This was so much fun. And I hope that you have a fantastic week ahead. I'm going to go, here we go. Again, I was going to say something that fell out of my ear. I'm having like one of them days, but I love that you guys are here with me for it. And just, love the imperfections because, that's what it's about. Just be yourself. Let's see. That's a good synopsis, like Speed, but the bus is a guy. That's hysterical. I'm definitely going to look that up. That sounds fun. But anywho, I hope that you guys have a fantastic week. And if anything is coming up that you have to struggle with, make sure you take it head on, because when you stick your head in the sand, you think you're hiding from the world, but everybody else just sees a big ass. Love you guys.